Hi, Michael. Thank you so much for taking out the time to share your experience
Thank
of what
you.
it was like working with myself and the Abundant Accountant team to share with other firm owners that might be considering enrolling in the 8-week sales mastery course, but they might be wondering, will this work for them and how this would support them from another firm owner's point of view. But before we dive in, I'd love it, Michael, if you could share where you're at in the country and also what does your firm specialize in?
Hi, my name is Mike Shumway, and I am located in Utah in a city called American Fork. I've been an accountant for 45 years, and I've just been doing tax returns for all that period of time. And now I am phasing out my compliance business and working on expanding my tax resolution business.
Awesome. And what was the biggest challenge that you were having as it related to your sales and the pricing in your firm before we started working together?
I was afraid of charging a fair price for my services. That was my biggest challenge.
Yeah. And what had you do something about it, Michael? You've been doing this for a long time. You've had a firm, you've been going cruising along. What was the moment you decided that something had to change and that you needed to charge a fair price for your services going forward?
Um, my fear of charging fair prices has been going on for decades. And I just finally had it. I said, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to do things the correct way. I'm going to do things the fair way.
Yeah.
And I'm going to also prepare my practice for down the road selling my practice, my
That's
compliance business.
Yeah, and you needed to increase the bottom line, increase
Sure.
more profitability. So those are good reasons to make a change. What was your way you evaluated the Abundant Accountant and our 8-week sales mastery course before you decided to engage with us and work with us? What were some of your main concerns and how did you do your due diligence and research on us?
I did the normal due diligence stuff, looked at, I did a Google search on the Abundant Accountant group, and I saw a lot of very positive things about it. And and I also signed up for a webinar with Eric Green, and Michelle was part of that. And as soon as I saw that, I thought this is for me.
Yeah. Yeah, and especially with your tax resolution business and us working with Eric for so long. It was just a match made in heaven. But what was your initial skepticism, Michael? Like, what did you fear the most besides trying to figure out how to increase your fees to your current clients and any new clients? What were some of those initial skepticisms, fears, or objections that you had before diving in and taking that leap of faith and working with us?
Initially, I thought about the investment,
Yeah.
and it's not a small investment, at least in my circumstance. But then I thought, if I could just make some small changes, I'll recover that investment really quick. And once I came to that realization, then that concern went away.
Yeah, and what have been some of your financial successes in just the last 8 weeks working together?
I no longer do things for free that I used to in the past. My fees have pretty much doubled, and I'm in the process of sending out my client letters and fine tuning that process here in the next week or so. And um, I've also been able to collect some of my outstanding accounts receivable that
No.
goes back way too long, and
Share with us
that would
some numbers. How much total AR did you collect and how much total revenue gained have you seen as an increase?
I didn't have a huge AR problem. It was only about $4,000, but I've collected all but a couple of $100 of that. So yeah, there's $4,000 right there.
Congratulations. Yeah, it's a big deal.
And
You never
then
thought you were going to get that money.
no, it's like found money, so it's really fun. And also on some of the resolution items, I just proposed what I know is a fair price. And compared to what I would have charged in the past, that's probably 10,000 bucks right there.
Yeah.
At least that is probably more like 15.
Yeah.
And I'm just getting going now.
I know. This is just the beginning. You're just scratching the surface.
It is just the beginning.
So, Michael, how do you feel now about your sales system you have in place, your confidence, your pricing, versus how you felt about 8 weeks ago?
I was scared 8 weeks ago. Now I'm confident.
Yeah.
Um, I've got a system, and I truly believe if I continue to follow that system, it'll pay immense dividends.
Yeah. And then you can sell your firm for a very
Yeah, I
high.
can sell my firm down the road and make a lot more money on resolution.
Yes. Michael, I'd love it if you could share what was your experience like during the 8 weeks working with us? If you can share more of the program flow and what that was like from your perspective.
I've been really impressed on how the lessons build on each other.
Mm,
And throughout that process, I would realize things that were actually taught in a previous lesson and be able to see with greater emphasis the importance of those steps along the way. And I also was very impressed with how the homework was reviewed and excellent feedback was provided. That probably is
mm.
the greatest benefit that I feel. Also, the weekly meetings are very helpful too.
Yeah,
Very helpful.
the group coaching calls every week.
Yes, the group coaching calls.
What did you find most helpful that you would love to share with another firm owner that maybe you wish you would have heard in one of these videos, like about the homework or the group coaching calls? What would you be your feedback on that?
My feedback is that this system works. Um, so don't hesitate to make the investment. It really does work.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the overall feeling in my
You've
gut
had
right
your
now.
firm for a long time and you still were able to make changes, even though
Oh yeah, yeah. I've been doing things for certainly for decades, and I gained the knowledge and the confidence to make pretty big changes.
Yeah. And I'm curious if you could share of what you were learning each week and as it was building, how much of it were you able to implement right away? And
Oh, I could implement right away after there's one of the lessons deals with the red rope policy.
yeah,
I took that to heart and I fired some clients
nice.
that I should have fired many years ago. And
Yeah,
so that helped me immediately. And then the AR lessons about how to collect AR that paid benefits immediately. And then charging fair prices.
yeah,
I was able to implement that immediately also. So that
awesome.
really helped along the way.
Awesome. Love it. And if you can go back and tell your younger self, Michael, about this program, let's say, 3 months ago, what would you tell your younger self for that other firm owner that might be watching this, just like you watched our testimonials and stuff prior to having a chat with us? What would you want to share with your younger self that you wish you would have heard in one of these videos?
Just do it. Okay. Put the fears behind and just do it. And it will be okay. It'll work out. The system works.
Yeah. Any other words of wisdom for someone maybe that's had a firm for a really long time, or maybe even just brand new firm owner that maybe doesn't want to make the mistakes that you had made over the last few decades? Is there anything else that you'd want to share
Yes.
with someone
Ch-
listening?
Charge a fair price and don't be embarrassed about charging a fair price. And have a sales system that works from the client perspective, not just from an accountant's perspective, from the client's perspective.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Michael, so much for taking the time to share your experience with other firm owners that might be considering enrolling in our 8 week sales mastery course. It's been an honor to watch your growth and see your journey. And like you said, you're just scratching the surface, and I can't wait to see what's in store for you in the near future with your tax resolution firm.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to work with you, and I look forward to the future.
Awesome.